What the actual pandemic has taught us is that there are a few moral questions about life and death that need to be answered. Is it useful to hide ourselves in our houses, in our countries, in our towns, trying to escape death and gain a mental and physical health that now seems to be lost? Is that useful to to flee the great danger this pandemic represents for all the world without even asking ourselves what all this means for us and for the future generations? I think that this can teach us the right value of life and of death. We need to answer this question: what's death and why death is considered a taboo or an, an evil thing by the most of the actual world population. We are used to consider that something to escape from, something too bad to be discussed by politicians and by our parents or by our friends in our schools, etc. In reality, that is part of life. We need to face the problem of death in our lives to live better and not to destroy all we constructed together in this world because of a pandemic that put us in face of our greatest enemies like illness, death, danger of suffering. A pandemic can be fought with hiding places, with fear, with other suffering added to the suffering that the pandemic is already giving us in our everyday lives. We need to face this pandemic more conscient about our behavior in front of life and in front of what life is for us. We are mortal beings and we are being created to die. The, the more we face this truth, the more we are prepared to what is coming. We need to accept the fact that in a way or in another, people are going to die. If we don't want to accept it, if our politicians say that we are meant not to die before 100 years old, um, we are doomed and condemned to be hidden for the rest of our lives because nature is getting ahead of us. Nature is condemning us because the world is getting overpopulated. And the more we fight that is a natural thing, the more we are forced to hide ourselves and to flee all the great pandemic that are to come. That can be a positive thing, mainly in a world that is destroying, that we are destroying. We have to realize that the truth about human life cannot be reduced to to chanting life is good, is bad, life is good and that is bad, because in this way we cross the threshold of ridicule to the point that we react like lost children in the face of the most distant threat of probable death. We People die every day. I was supposed to die when doctors told me that I was not a productive man and I was supposed to be closed in a psychiatric ward without hope of being free again. So what? My life is not important and the doctor's life is so important that they are heroes now. Why? Were the doctors trying to kill me because I was not productive? And everyone now is supposed to escape a pandemic sent by nature to kill or to make people understand that life is not the only good things in this world. People die every day, but the reason why this pandemic makes us so scared is because people are not prepared. Most people were not prepared to the chance of dying so early. So the ones that were prepared, like me, to die, aren't so affected by all this. But the hypocrites, the people without courage, the people with fear, are not prepared to what is expecting us. And so, expecting us. So they try to fight, but it's useless because all this hiding, all this fighting back is only taking us to suffer indefinitely, even at the expense of the dignity and of the freedom of millions and millions of men and women. There is need of we need a different approach to this to all the pandemics that are prepared to come, because this is the only way we have to die with dignity and keep living with bravery. Thank you for listening. See you to the next video.